Okay, welcome to Let's Talk About It, Episode 3, a podcast brought to you by the Lesniak Institute for American Leadership. We are a nonprofit located in Union, New Jersey, here at Kean University. We're your hosts. My name is Felipe.
My name is Kevin.
My name is Claudia.
So, today we have a very, very special episode. Today we're going to highlight the NAACP Elizabeth Branch, a nonprofit organization dedicated to equality for Black communities. To help us with this, we have special guest, the winner of the Advocate of the Year Award back at our gala, and the president of the NAACP Elizabeth Branch, Shawn McClain. Shawn, thanks very much for coming here and talking to us.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
Cool. So, Shawn, I know this past weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago, we had an event with you and the NAACP here at Kean University, the Freedom Fund dinner. Can you talk to us a little bit about the event and what your goal was with the event, and did you accomplish that goal?
Well, the Freedom Fund Gala is normally set up by all the branches of the NAACP throughout the state. It's an annual fundraiser that we use to raise and generate money. We generate money to help sponsors to go to conventions, to help people that are dealing with hardships, people are homeless, fire victims, whatever we need to try to function and keep the organization up and running and to service the community. This year, we had the privilege of doing the Freedom Fund Gala here at the STEM building, thanks to the Lesniak Institute, King University, and the other sponsors that helped us to do the gala. I was very excited by having the Senate President Scutari come and speak here at the gala. That was definitely special. I had former Senator Lesniak from the Lesniak Institute come and speak, which was amazing. The Lesniak Institute has really helped us out a great deal in a lot of different initiatives that we have been doing. We kind of partnered with you guys, and it's been actually excellent because we're kind of like on the same page and we're kind of moving in a positive direction. And that's really to uplift the people in the community and fight for the rights that people need to have, for the social injustices, and to make sure everybody's being treated equally. But back to the Freedom Fund, it was definitely nice having the guest speaker, Kelly Claudette. She was able to come and to speak. We had a great job by Dr. David Jeffries Jr. He was our MC. We had the mayor from Elizabeth come, Mayor Bolwidge. We also had the mayor from Linden, Mayor Armstead. He was able to attend, along with a host of other people. The city councilman, President Carlos Torres, Patricia Perkins-Auguste, and other councilmen and women. The commissioners for the Union County Commissioners was there. It was just a host of people, and not to mention the police director, Earl Graves, Chief Saka was there from the police department, Prosecutor Daniels was there, the Housing Authority of the City of Elizabeth, you name it, they was in the building. NCW, they was there. It was just a beautiful, beautiful event. I enjoyed the valet parking because, I'm a little banged up. So it was always good, to have the valet parking. They'd park your car for you and the coat check. And I think we had over 225 people that came. I had Mr. Taylor. He was able to play the violin during the hors d'oeuvres, hors d'oeuvres time. And we also had the drummers that came from Jamaica, Queens, New York. So they also came out there. So it was a great, great event. And that's not to mention the great honorees that we had there. We had Joanne Blount. She received, what was she? Joanne Blount received the Lifetime Achievement Award. We had Natasha Davis Gomez. She received the Community Service Award. We had Jeremiah Laporte, the Youth Activist Award he received. We had Reverend Deere. He received the Reverend Deere received the Activism Award. And then we had Reverend Garlic, who received the Reverend Garlic is the Social Justice Award. Did I forget any awards that we gave out? Oh, and the biggest
Raymond.
award was Ray Hamlin Jr. He received the Presidential Award. So it was a great ambiance of great people that's doing really great work. And also, I can't forget Lillian Gordine. She received the Volunteer of the Year award because we've been without a secretary for some time. And although her being the treasurer, she had to fill in to be the secretary also. So, a lot of people was, working really hard to fill in the gaps to make sure this gala was actually a big success and was a gourmet dining.
Yep.
They did a great job with the food and all the appetizers and everything. And it was a really great thing. And I can't forget Kevin McAllister. He was our DJ for the event. He did a great job. And I got to mention my boy Kevin. He took some great pictures at the event that we shared with everybody. So the event, to me, was a success. Although, it could hold like 225 people, we sold out 30 days before the event, which was a great accomplishment. Next year they talk about maybe doing it at a bigger place, but we do have other venues that we do want to do here at the Sim Building. So to have that type of, demand to come from the people in the community was a great feeling. And like I said, when we first started the gala, we didn't really have too much money to start off with. And we was able to really generate some money with the ads that we was able to do. And my friend brother Michael Martin, I can't forget him, he had did the digital ad journal for us, which was awesome. We had it on the table, and people was able to scan it and see their little ad journals there. I was able to generate some good money from that also. So, overall, the gala was good. I mean, nobody got hurt, nobody got injured. It was a good event. There was no DUIs or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was a great crowd, and I look forward to doing other events again in the future.
Yeah. So Kevin and I actually had the honor of attending the event, and thanks again for the invitation. I know, like, from experience that planning events like that takes a lot of work and a lot of communication and a lot of moving parts. And I just want to say you did a great job.
Well, thank you. It wasn't just me. I called you, Felipe, a lot of times. Alicia, she helped out a whole lot. But, for the most part, I worked with Sarah, before you actually became the director, correct? And she talked wonderful about you. She said, Felipe is going to be awesome. She moved on to different things, but she told me great things about you, and you was definitely, a great person to pass the torch to.
Thank you.
And I want to forget Corey Booker.
Yes.
He couldn't attend, but he gave me a message that we can play on the big screen up there. And he was very energetic and really got the crowd going with the drums and everything like that. So it was a really good event, and I was very happy to see my family there. My family was there like we 10, 15 deep.
Yeah, I spoke to your sister.
Yeah, my oldest daughter was there. She came all the way from Queens, New York.
Wow.
It's the second gala she came to, so now I'm counting her to be at every single gala that we have from now on. It was definitely just a great feeling to do it and to accomplish it, because it was a big bill, so you had to make sure you really promoted and did the right thing. So we did just about everything that you're supposed to do to have a successful event. So once again, I thank Kane University and the Lesniak Institute for believing in me and having the faith that we'll be able to do this and be successful. So,
yeah, I mean, anytime you guys need anything, you can call me or text me. I would say probably my favorite part of the event was definitely the keynote speech from Kelly. Yeah, I think that was definitely my favorite part about the event. Just the way she spoke, and you could tell like everyone was so into what she was saying, and the way she kind of like controlled the room. Only a few people could do that, and that honestly for me just really moved me, and I really enjoyed that part.
And definitely with her experience of working with President Obama and all of the history that she was able to give us and the knowledge that she gave us, for the Freedom Fund dinner, which happens to fall in the same month of Black History Month. So everything was so good and so perfect. Like in Africa back in the day, when you hear the drums, that means that, something is about to happen and the event is about to start. So when I was talking to Dr. Lundy, who's our religious chair, she was like, yeah, we're just going to play the drums, because in Africa, they play the drums, and that's when everybody started coming around the fire, and they know something is going to happen. And that's what we did. We didn't say anything. We just started playing the drums. Then we, boom, hit with the Cory Booker shout out. So it was a lot of good things. And like I said, I tried to, the committee and we worked very hard to try to make it something that's worthwhile. And the biggest thing about it is that everybody that purchased a ticket for the Freedom Fund dinner also became a member. So we gave everybody a free membership who actually attended the Freedom Fund dinner. So I'm really excited about that, because our numbers are going to go up. It's not all about the money. It's also getting people involved and getting people engaged in what we're doing. And that's the real key. That's why we use the social media and all that stuff, because we want to get people engaged and make people aware of the NAACP. A lot of people say, I never even knew we had an NAACP. Well, what is the NAACP? That's my job as the president. My job is to make sure I put the NAACP out there to make people aware of who we are and what we're trying to do. And the biggest thing is that we don't get paid for this. I don't get a check. I don't have a fancy car. Matter of fact, my key is broke in my car. So, I do it because of the love that I have for it. And, I'm very emotional about the NAACP because I got a lot of history with it and the reason why I do it. So,
well, going off of that, Shawn, can you talk a little bit about the NAACP? I know you mentioned a bunch of initiatives that you guys focus on, but tell us a little bit about what the NAACP is now that you're president.
Okay, well, I could tell you a little bit how it actually functions and how it's ran. We have, you definitely have a president, you have a vice president, you have a second vice president or third vice president. You have a secretary, assistant secretary, you have a treasurer, an assistant treasurer, and then you have the committee chairs. We have different committee chairs. We have a committee chair for youth. We have a committee chair for religious. We have committee chairs for political action. We have political chairs for, what's the other one that we got? There's numerous different chairs that we have. And the way it's set up, it goes like this. Every month, you have an executive meeting and you have a general meeting. Whatever is discussed in the executive meeting, we then pass it down and we discuss in the general meeting. Now, the subcommittees, like say we have a political action committee or youth meeting or a membership committee meeting. Membership committee helps register the people for the branch because we try to get our numbers up there. Just giving you an example, the membership committee will have a meeting. And their meeting might say, okay, this month we're going to set up a table at King University. All right, we're going to try to register youth members from the college. Or we're going to go to this HBCU basketball game and we're going to make people aware of the NAACP, what it is, and how they can be a part of it by joining. And their job is to engage and to bring members into the branch. They have their meeting. They take their notes. The notes are now forwarded to the secretary and me as the president. I review them. If they need anything, if they need any type of pencils, pens, notebooks, anything they may need, poster cards to put out, they'll mention it during their subcommittee meeting, and they'll bring it to the executive meeting. And then we'll discuss it in the executive meeting, and then we'll approve or disapprove whatever it is that they are trying to do. Normally, if they try to do initiatives, they'll set up a budget. They say when it's going to happen. They'll bring the invoices of the cost, and then we as executive board will approve or we'll deny it. And then they'll move on and they'll actually go to that spot and they'll set up the registration table and then do whatever it is that we need to do. Another subcommittee is a Legal Redress Committee. If someone's going through something and let's say they don't have the money, for an attorney, and there's some type of a social injustice that's being done. What they would do, they would write a letter. They would write a letter to me. I would then send it to the Legal Redress Committee, which is composed of different attorneys. One of the attorneys, Raymond Hamlin, and we'll pass it on to them, and they'll take the case pro bono. And if there's money involved with it, then if we have money, we can support them and give them money to support them. And then he will go and do what he does to help that person. And that's pretty much, how, we move with the different committees and the different things that's going on. We have housing committees and stuff like that. But because it's volunteer, every committee sometimes not filled because we don't have people that's willing to chair and to facilitate that committee. So if we don't have the people to come on to chair or facilitate that committee, then that means that committee can't exist. If that committee can't exist in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be served as a disservice to the community because we don't have people that's willing to step up. That's why the NAACP is really about the engagement of people and getting people to get involved. So that's why we do the membership drives, because we try to get people that's maybe into the social media. We have a social media committee, and they talk about what we can do to improve our internet and our website and how we could reach more people, more listeners, more viewers, and things of that nature. So, there's a lot of different things that, we have that's composed within the NAACP. And there's a lot of gaps, but it's not as many gaps as when I first started 4 years ago, when we had a budget of about we didn't even have a bank account, like maybe $600. That's what we had. And we had to start from scratch. I had to get a treasurer. And there's certain bylaws and constitutions that you got to follow in order to run your branch and to stay, above board and to do things the right way. So it's a lot involved and it's a lot of work. So a lot of people would say, just join the NAACP, all those voluntarily, it's a lot of work. And my job is, I'm the bad guy. I got to hold people accountable for something I'm not paying them for. I don't know how that's done, but, I got to hold people. So if you say I'm going to do X, Y, and Z as the president, I got to make sure you do it. So sometimes it's not the most liked position, you know what I mean? That, he's a bully, you know what I mean? No, I'm not a bully. That's just that when you say you're going to do something, people, sometimes their lives is determined based on what you said you're going to do. Like if we said we're going to hand out 100 turkeys to the people in the community, I'm expecting you, when you say yes, to do it, because you know what? We done set up a whole little program, and people are expecting you to give out turkeys. People are hungry. I'm hungry. I can't go to my house and eat. So, we need people to, let the yes mean yes and the no mean no.
So this is a question that I just came to my mind, which is, and I noticed this in your gala, it's the artists that you contracted at your gala, right? They were the part of the selection pool, like the musicians, the DJ. Do you only it's all about supporting other people of color businesses, right? Like other brothers and sisters. Is that part also of the NAACP, like to support each other and to actually start building this trust among other business owners and for the community members as well to also buy and invest into these businesses?
Well, as well as I do, it's hard to do something without money. That's why I'm so grateful with King University and the Lesniak Institute for a lot of the services they give to us in kind. My treasurer, she has to keep record of, what would this cost us if they didn't help us? And the numbers are pretty steep. So that's why I'm overly grateful, with people like the Lesniak Institute and King University, because just starting off and to get it restarted again, it's very difficult without, I'm going to call mother branches helping out and supporting the branches that don't have that much money or paid staff that can do it. So when it comes to something like that, it's very beneficial. It's very helpful. And I think I fell off your question a little bit. The main part of your question was,
Like helping brothers, in your community, or like let's an example, like there are other, let's say like you own a business and you want other members of the NAACP to like, hey, I have this guy who owns a business and you guys should buy from this person.
well, that's what it is what we try to do. We do try to expose other Black-owned businesses to give them exposure. When you have a big event such as this, and you have an organization such as the NAACP that's been around for almost 100 years, you definitely want to try to expose those businesses and give them an opportunity to be seen and to be heard, so that they can branch off and become better. And in turn, those businesses, as they get larger, they will hopefully come back and help support the NAACP, which maybe be giving them a start to become as big as they are. I mean, that's part of the business. But we just want to give everybody an opportunity, a fair opportunity to excel. Unfortunately, we did have vendors that day, but there was some technical things there. We had to make sure that if we are going to have vendors as third-party money exchange, that, we definitely have to do a form for that. That was a big oversight. But, we was able to, talk to the vendors, and because we're a credible organization, they understood, there was no, nobody did anything malicious. It was just something that happened, and they look forward to doing the next event. And we'll definitely work with them even more to try to make sure they get exposed what they do, and to try to sell some of their merchandise, like for Black History Month, they had T-shirts and jewelry and dresses and all that good stuff. So, we're definitely going to give them an opportunity. And like I said, I definitely apologize to those vendors because, they took their time to come out. But I'm going to make it right. We're going to make it right.
Do actually people come to you with ideas and say like, hey, we should probably throw a game here at the park? Or do they actually come to you with ideas of, kind of like just...
They come to me with all types
like what would be one of the the most memorable idea that someone just pitched to you?
Well, they wanted to do an all Black vendors event at a park or in the park a lot with DJs and music and stuff like that. That's something I was really looking into and wanted to do. They wanted to do a membership party where people come in and they party and they're paid whatever the fee is, and they could come in and they'll be a member for the branch, like a membership fundraiser, all type of things to raise money and to generate money for the branch, so we could do some things, to help other people. It's really nice when you're the president of an organization and you have someone who may have lost a loved one and they don't have the money, for a funeral, and you can say, all right, well, executive committee or these people don't have the money to pay for this funeral, what can we contribute towards a funeral? And it's all right, well, we could give them $500 or we could give them $1,000, It's definitely a good feeling because you're helping people out during a rough time. It's already hard enough they gotta, bury a loved one, but then not to have the money to bury your mother or your father or your child, that's kind of tough. Losing your child to a gunshot victim, or it's really rough, and you go through a lot, and you really gotta pick and choose. It's hard to really pick and choose. Like I always say, we're gonna give something. We're never not gonna give nothing. It might not be the amount that they want, but we're definitely going to give something and say, hey, listen, this is the NAACP. We care about what happened to you. I wish I was a millionaire and I can give you more, but this is what we could do right now. So, those are some of the things that we do. And I enjoy it. It's a good feeling for bad times, but to be able to be the one that can do that, it's a good feeling. It's a self-gratifying feeling. That's why I get the joy from, to be able to help people.
So, Shawn, let's take it back. let's go back to when you were just thinking about becoming president of the NAACP. I know Dr. Gerald Eugene Glissen. He was a close friend and a fraternity brother of yours. He inspired you to be president of the NAACP Elizabeth branch. Can you talk to us a little bit about the relationship you had with him and why he inspired you to become president?
Well, Dr. Gerald Eugene, I gotta say Eugene because we always just pick on each other's middle name. My middle name is Mark, but his middle name was more funny than mine. He grew up in Neptune, New Jersey. We had met at Delaware State College, and in 1994, we pledged the fraternity called Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, and we became members in 1994, spring of 1994. And when we became Fraternity Brothers, it wasn't nothing that we didn't do together. Like everything we did together. I was a dark-skinned Q, he was a light-skinned Q, and his daughters, my daughters, like we did everything together. Like, we went out on dates together, hung out with the girls together, played football together, just did everything together, traveled together. And he was part of the Lambda Upsilon chapter out in Patterson, the grad chapter, and he always wanted me to be active in the fraternity. And, I was a football player, I was just all about just having fun and going out. So I didn't really pay too much attention to the business side of it. But he said, Shawn, you got a great personality, man. Like, you draw a lot of people to you. He said, you know what, if you ever took a position of power in the city of Elizabeth, he said, you'll probably be the most powerful man in the city of Elizabeth. And you know what I told him? I said, man, if you don't shut up and get out of my face. I said, everybody try to be no politician or nothing like that. So May 3rd of 2020, I received a call that he had died of COVID. And that rocked my world because we was going through something as a country that I can never, ever experience again how sad it was hearing how many people that was dying, how many friends I had that was dying, and it was just a sad, sad time. So when that happened and he had died, I did a self-inflection of myself. I said, well, Shawn, what do you want to be known for? When, God calls you to heaven. What is it that you have done, to make an impact and to change people's lives? So I started questioning myself internally because I was getting calls. I know a lot of people like, this person died, this friend died, this cousin died, I'm like, oh my God, I was like going through it. I was really going through some mental stuff in my head because I have so many friends and it was just dying. So I sat down and I just started thinking, saying, you know what? I'm going to run for the president for the NAACP. And I told my friends and they looked at me like I was crazy. They said, if you run for president of NAACP, your whole life is going to change. Like, people will look at you differently. I said, ain't gonna look at me no different. I'm gonna be the same old person. I'll be Shawn McClain. But as you take a position of power, your life does change. And I told Gerald, I mentioned that if I became the president, I was gonna make an impact so strong that his name will never, never die as long as I'm the president here at the Elizabeth branch at NAACP. So one of the first things I did, I started a scholarship in his name. It's called the Dr. Jald Eugene Glisson Scholarship. And every year, we've at least given out $1,000. This year, we're going to give out $3,000 in his name to kids or young men and women that are in school, that are working with the NAACP voluntarily, whether helping out on the social media or whatever. If you're in college and you want to get this scholarship, you could come and you can be a part of it and you can apply for it. And the way it's set up is that the chairperson from the different committees will write you a letter of recommendation saying that you've been working with them for X amount of months or a year or so, and what your specific job was and how well you're doing. and they'll submit it, and we'll have it evaluated. We got a committee that will look at it and see who actually has been doing the most work, and they'll award the scholarships accordingly. And then I'll get the final say and we'll review it, and then we'll set up a day and we'll give them a scholarship. Normally we give out a scholarship during the Freedom Fund dinner, but this year we couldn't do it. We got the money late. So I definitely want to thank, Senator Crine. He made a contribution of $2,500 towards the scholarship this year. And my fraternity brothers, added some more money on there. And it's still open if people want to give some money towards the scholarship. We never close the money for being able to help youth advance in education. We never do that. And we're going to have the committee sit down. They're going to evaluate the kids. And we're going to give out a scholarship probably July, August, maybe before September. So
That's awesome.
that's how he motivates me every day. Because when he died, he was made a big impact in Neptune and in Patterson. He made such a big impact. And I just want people to know that, when it's my time to go, that I want to be remembered as someone that made an impact in this world. So that's what motivated me to want to be the president. That's what motivated me to continue to do the good things that we're doing now with the NAACP.
Most definitely, I believe that you already have put your fingerprint in this world by doing all the things you have done, and even continuing your friend's name with the scholarship. So I believe you're already right there on the in history.
Well, thank you, man. I just got so much more to do. I don't know if you guys know. In July, I had a surgery. I had my thyroid was enlarged. It was so big. It was like a wrapped around my throat, and I didn't know what it was until I went to see the endocrinologist, if I'm saying it right. And when they took an X-ray of it, the guy was like, "Oh, this is huge." So I'm looking at the doctor like, "What? What are you talking about? It's huge." He said, "Your thyroid is so big." So he had to test it to see if it was cancerous. So they went and tested to see if it was cancerous, and they said it wasn't cancerous. But he said, this has to be removed as soon as possible, because if it turned cancerous, I could have died. And then on top of that, when they were doing all the tests before they could set me up for the surgery, they had to check my blood pressure was kind of high, and I had sleep apnea. So they were doing all these tests and things of that nature. And then finally, they said, well, Shawn, your left side of your heart, it seemed like it's not moving. So they had to do, I forget what they call it, to go inside your body and put the camera in there to see what's going on with your heart. So when they did that, they couldn't put me to sleep because of my blood pressure. So they kept me awake. So when they put it inside my heart, I'm listening to the doctor while he's doing it because they couldn't put me to sleep. And he was like, I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. He said, okay, I see it now. He said, oh, the heart's moving. And the guy was like, yeah, the heart looks good. It's pumping good. But before that, he said it wasn't pumping. So he had me taking aspirin and everything. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to die.
Wow.
So then when he's about to take the tube out of my chest, he's like, yo, it's stuck. So I'm still awake, but I'm just like, sedated. And I'm like, yo, what you mean it's stuck? So he's like, yo, his blood pressure is rising up. I said, well, your blood pressure is rising up too. If you talk about the wire was stuck. So he was able to finally get it out and so forth and so on. So I escaped 2 bullets. And then the crazy part, when I finally went to do the surgery was only supposed to take 3 hours. The surgery took 11 hours. So when I'm in the hospital, my daughter and them, they calling my sisters, say, how's Shawn doing? My sister and I answer the phone because nobody knows. So I got the 4 hours. I got the 5 hours. And then the lobby started filling up with people. I'm up there on anesthesia. I'm looking around. I'm like in another world. I'm starting to recover. And I see my family come into the operating room. And it's like a room bigger than this. And I'm laying down, all hooked up, tube in my throat and stuff like that. And I saw my family, and I saw my sister, my brother, and that just motivated me. I was like, yo, I gotta make this. God got something for me to do. When I get up out of this hospital, I'm gonna do some big things. So all this stuff is in my head, what I'm gonna do once I get out of this hospital. But I still got to recover because I'm having a major surgery. So I'm saying that to say that, definitely family's first for me. Definitely family's first for me. But for what I went through, there's a reason why God did it. There's a reason why God said, no, Shawn, this ain't your time. And it was 2 times on the surgery, like my blood pressure was high. I could have been out of here twice, but he kept me here. And he kept me here for a reason. So I really think the reason he kept me here because I got some work to do. I got some more work to do. And one of the big things I wanted to do is, I know we helped start Hillside. We helped them start their branch. And now we're working on Kane University, and we're trying to get their branch up and running. So we got the packing in there, and we got all the 25 youth that's going to be a part of the new chapter here at Kane University. So in around May, June, we should hopefully have a new branch here at Kane University with the NAACP. So, and it's more stuff to do. So, but
that's exciting.
To me, that's very exciting for me because I help reactivate that branch also. So, we're moving, and it's not something that you get a big old check at a Lexus or a Lamborghini, but when you see people in school and you're helping them finish school, that's all going to come back to the organization later on down the line. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want. You want to get a functional organization. Like, even if I'm not here or I'm not the president, whoever's the president is going to be here. They're going to reap all the benefits of the hard work that everybody put in there. And we're going to make sure the legacy continues. I'm going to make sure, even if I'm older and I'm not the president, I'm still like, hey, y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do this. So I'm hoping that the partnership continues, with everybody.
Yeah. I know the saying goes that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. So you definitely been through a lot. And I remember when you were going through your surgery, you would call me sometimes, and we would have talks about just what you're going through. And you made it, and you had an amazing event the other day, and you're just continuing to do great things. And I'm excited to hear that Kane University students now could be a part of the NAACP of the youth chapter, right? That's amazing to hear. I know a lot of students who are listening right now, they will definitely want to know more information about that and see how they can get involved with that too. So we'll definitely have something somewhere where you guys can learn more about the NAACP, the youth chapter, and maybe possible internships you guys might have in the future.
Yeah, well, we have internships right now. We have I have a new secretary. Her name is Mary Rivers. But we have so much administrative work that we would like to have done. For the branch, reaching out to people, sending out letters, whatever we can do on social media to make it a household name, because people need to be aware of what the NAACP is. It's not just about African Americans. It's about all people of all race and colors and ethnicity. A lot of people don't know that the Jews actually helped start the NAACP. There's Jews, white, black, but it was just that during that time, slavery was at its highest point, and African Americans was the one that was getting the bulk end of that at that particular time. But the NAACP is for everyone. It's just to make sure everybody's treated right. Women's treated just as equal as men in the work field and things of that nature. That everybody needs to be, like I said, regardless of their age, their race, their color, everybody should be treated equal and at least have an equal opportunity to achieve or to excel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's what we work hard for, equality amongst everybody, regardless of whatever your nationality is, whoever you are, whatever gender you are, whatever gender you want to be, or it's about people and treat people like human beings. That's what it's all about.
So, Shawn, a few more questions here and then we'll wrap it up. So a lot of our listeners are college students. A lot of them are probably listening right now, and a lot of them probably don't know exactly what they're going to do with their careers yet. I know you talked about leaving a legacy, and it's something a lot of people want to do. What advice would you give to, these young adults who are just finding their way within their careers or just in life in general?
Well, I'll say this. when you're young, sometimes you really don't know what you want to do. So try to do everything. Try to be a part of anything and everything. Anything you can be a part of, try it. See what it is. See what it's like. See if you like it. I'm a football coach also at Elizabeth High School, so I coach the kids to play the game of football, to be safe, and to win. Why do something if you're not going to be the best at what you do? Why waste your time doing something that's going to turn into nothingness? Why not excel? Why not be the best? Well, don't be afraid of being the best. You know what I mean? Go out there and be all you can be. And sometimes you get more by working with people in the community, because the people that work with the community, these people are the ones that's pretty much well off because they don't have to work because they have enough money to volunteer and do these things. They're mostly philanthropists and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So what better form to be around than to be around other volunteers and people that's running organizations? You know what I mean? What greater person can you be around than someone like former Senator Lesniak, who's done just about everything there is to do? You know what I mean? I'm seeing what he's doing over in Poland, reuniting the families and stuff like that, and fighting for not using weapons, what they call it, weapons of mass destruction and stuff like that. You know what I mean? This guy has done some amazing things, and he's like 78 years old. He's bouncing around better than me. I got a cane, and he's bouncing around doing this thing. But
It's the yoga.
you get more knowledge and information from people like him for free.
Yeah.
Just by being around and volunteer. You know, you come around me, talk to me about how to start an organization from scratch, you're going to learn a lot, because don't think it was easy. Don't think it was easy to just step into this role and say, all right, I'm Shawn McClain and I'm going to be the NAACP president. No. There's people that's out there that want you to fail. Reverend Deere told me this. He was the chair for religious affairs. He said, Shawn, everybody that's in your corner is not in your corner. Now I want you to think about that. Everybody that's in your corner is not in your corner. They may sit down with you, drink coffee with you, fellowship with you, but that don't mean they're in your corner. When things get thick, they're gonna dip off. But the ones that really are in your corner, they'll still be there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that you learn being in a position of leadership and power. And these are some of the hard life lessons that you're going to learn, you know, being in a position like this. Everybody that's out there doesn't want you to succeed. You know what I mean? They want to be the person to say, well, I did this or I did this. You know, it's like crab in the barrel. They want to pull you down. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing, but it exists. It's real. You know what I mean? So, but if we could get people to come together and to work together, and it starts with our youth. It starts with our youth. I'm 53 years old, and I've been doing this community service stuff for a long time. But if I was 20, 21 years old and learning the stuff that I know now, when you get my age, you'll be an expert. But then it'll be time for you to pass the torch down to somebody else. Because this generation, this young generation, this is your time to really make your mark of what type of world you want to have in the future, and your kids and your children. So that's why we need the youth to really step up and to learn what it takes to how to run these organizations. And that's what I learned from my frat brother, Dr. Jald Eugene Glissen, because he used to always run our meetings and have the Robert Rules of Order and all that stuff. And that's like, I ain't learned all that stuff. Stuff is nonsense. What did I get when I became the president? When I became the president? The Robert Rules of Order, the Constitution, the bylaws. I'm like, oh my God, it's haunting me. I'm never going to get away from this. So I had to buckle down and I had to learn it, you know what I mean, later on in life, rather than learn it earlier and then breezing right through this.
Do you guys have any other questions for Shawn?
I have like a wrap-up question. So we're coming towards the end of Black History Month. What advice would you give everyone going forward to honor Black history and really highlight Black excellence, outside of Black History Month?
Well, a lot of American history is Black history. It's just a lot of people just don't know. There's so many things that a lot of people don't know that's Black history, but it's just that they're just not taught in the schools. Because for so long, we've been deprived, school systems has kind of deprived everyone from learning about Black history. So now with the homicide, we're trying to do more of that to teach people about some of the things that a lot of African American has done in the past. I think I was at the school that was talking about Aunt Jemima, the pancake syrup mix, and the history of that. And it's so much. It's just so rich with so much history. I just want people to be more aware of some of the things that's going on in this world that African Americans has contributed to this world. My goal later on in life is to hopefully be the first president of Elizabeth NAACP to be a history teacher at Elizabeth High School. So I have a degree in sociology and criminal justice, and I'm going to go back to school so I can finish up and be a history teacher. And hopefully, with the honor set, I'll be able to teach more Black history in our public schools. So that's a little goal I got.
That's great.
Because I was want to say, like, adding to that, when you said that, Black history is American history, like, even in the sense of music, I love music, and there has been a lot of influence, from, like, blues, jazz, everything, like, all, like, even when you brought up the drums, like, the drums is a big influence on all music. So you're right on that, and even, like, the greatest athletes. There's been a lot of composers, poets, writers, every single one.
Arthur Ashe, a lot of great athletes. And you're right. It's so much. But see, my thing is, you wouldn't know that if someone never taught you that. If it was never taught to you in school, you wouldn't have known it. Like, a lot of people don't even know what Juneteenth is. Nobody knows about the holiday and the significance of Juneteenth and why it's so important. So, these are the things that, as the president, don't get me wrong, I'm learning myself too. I don't want you to think I'm this historian and I know all these things. One of my close friends, she always used to sit me down and make me watch a lot of shows with like Black history and this and that. And I don't really watch a lot of TV, but she had me sit down and watch a lot of, programs and stuff that talked a lot about Black history. And I learned a whole lot. And I'm continuing to learn. I'm work in progress. So it's never too late to learn. And you never can learn it all. Every day you can learn something new.
I would take your history class.
You take my history class?
Yeah, I'll take your history
I'd
class.
love it.
No, but just want to say, Shawn, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope everyone listening learned a lot about the NAACP and all of the phenomenal work that they're doing. A huge thank you to Shawn McClain for granting us his time today. And if you're feeling inspired, head over to the NAACP website to check on what they're doing and what they got coming up, the exciting things they have going on with Kean University. And Shawn, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Felipe and Kev, and I'm sorry, what's your name? Claudia and Sana. You guys are awesome, man. I just thank you guys because it's a lot of work, and I really want to put this stamp on this letter here at Kean University because we got the African American Studies building that just been built. That's here.
Yep.
You got Dr. Repelec, the first African American president here at Kean University. So when you talk about taking steps, we're taking some small steps that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And one day when I'm not here, it's going to get even bigger and bigger. I'm just hoping that the younger generation sees the importance of this. I want to do a rock the vote. I want to get the kids registered so that they can go out there and vote for the 2024 election. And I want Elizabeth and I want King and I want us to be the role models for the world, for the United States, as far as what, a college campus should do, getting kids registered at 17 years of age, because we have to go out and vote because we are the people and this world is governed by the people. We determine who we put in office and who we don't. And if you think your vote doesn't count, you're so lost. Everybody vote counts. Everybody vote is important. So I'm not saying who you should vote for because NAACP is nonpartisan, just as long as you go out and vote. So you can't sit back and say, you know what, this guy is the president and I don't know why he's the president. You know why? Because maybe you didn't vote. You know what I mean? If you would have voted, you would have known who you put in office. So that's my little...
Thank you for sharing that.
Period. You heard the man. Go vote.
Well, that has been episode 3 of Let's Talk About It, brought to you by the Lesniak Institute for American Leadership. We will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.